And good morning. Welcome to Better Living with Dr. James Hassell. Listen, we're here to drop some wisdom every morning, every weekday morning, right here on YouTube, right here on Instagram. Even this morning we're sharing, but also on Facebook, on Dr. James and Hassell's page. Listen, we want you to know that if you can do better, and you can be better, and you can all do that because you know better. Listen, we're in the middle of a series right now called Loyalty and Disloyalty, following this book by Bishop Dag Heward Mills, and what an amazing teaching. And today's book we're in the middle of is called Those Who Pretend. And so if you want to be part of this broadcast, you can join us on Facebook or on Instagram or YouTube. Come on, comment. We want to interact with you for this time we have together every weekday at 9:30. Those Who Pretend. We're in the middle of chapter. Let me say what's up to our Facebook family and YouTube. Good morning, Latoya, Linda, Renee. Good morning, Diane. That's right. Come on in. I see you guys. I see Sydney on here. Prophet Cook, gotta run. Amen. Thank you for showing the love. I appreciate you. I'll DM you the book title. That's it. Powerful man of God. Listen, we're talking about pretenders in this chapter, how to see through them, and really how to spot fake people in your life, in church, in dating, in business, even on social media. How do you spot and identify unreal folk, dishonest pretenders? And I gotta say good morning to everyone on here. Let me see, Linda and my lovely wife is on. Good morning. Renee, I see you guys here man, I got so many things going. It's so awesome. But anyhow, hit that share button for me. We're gonna dig into this right now. We're gonna talk about Romans 12:9. It says this: let love be without dissimilation. It says, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. We're talking about dissimilation, which means to pretend. We didn't even know that the Bible told us not to fake it, especially don't fake love. And if the community that we live in is going to ever be built, it has to be built on love. And not just the church community, but the world that we influence as salt and light has to be based on love. And not fake, phony, fraudulent love. Not counterfeit love, but real love. I think Mary J. Blige said it first. You know, I'm talking about real love. All right? Something to set my heart free. Real love. I'm talking about the real love. All right, anyhow, I get all caught up. But anyhow, good morning. So we were talking about 18 characteristics of pretenders. And dissimulation is dangerous because it's about disguising and concealing yourself, your real feelings, and you putting false appearances. This is dangerous in dating. This is dangerous in business. This is dangerous in ministry and in church, and it's dangerous in life. Anytime there's a pretender in your midst, you are in danger. That's really the point of this. And we're not just trying to detect phoniness in other people. We actually have to be able to detect when we're being phony ourselves. And we talked about pretenders are angelic. They're too good to be true. We talked about that there's things in their background that don't reflect their present claims. When people show you who they are, believe them. I'm telling you, many of us are tricking ourselves thinking we got real folk around us that keeping it 100. They're not keeping it 100. They are looking out for their own self-interest. They're showing you their hands by every betrayal, and you've got to believe the person that they're showing themselves to be. And so we're teaching this to make sure that you are building in life and that you're building a team of people around you that you can trust and that are genuine and are not going to undermine your ultimate outcomes. All right? Pretenders make you sign agreements that you'll regret later. You can see them having you make covenants that are not in your best interest. You can see this with pretenders who are car dealers. They're selling you houses. They're selling you cars. They're selling you clothes. They're selling you fake jewelry, fake bags, and they've got you so convinced that they're the real thing, but they got you signing employment agreements that help them to get rich and keep you in bondage. You've got to be able to identify the real around you. All right. And so we're talking about pretenders and spotting fake people. Pretender is someone you can't be at ease with. You can never relax around a Delilah in your life. One who is out to kill you, has made it clear that if you give them any secrets, they are going to expose it. You've heard this over and over. You told only them, you trusted them, but they got a best friend that told your business and got you all looking crazy in the streets. I need someone here to hear what I'm saying. This is from my heart. Don't be that dude. Don't be that girl. Don't be that woman who people can't trust because you're pretending. If you're in relationships with any kind of relationship where you are not able to be your real authentic self, get out. Get out. Leave immediately. Hit the exit button. Good morning. What did Snagglepuss say? He says exit stage left even. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Listen, it's important on this Monday morning while I'm being silly to really consider how in your life you are living fake, phony, with this face, with this facade, with this mask. I'm not talking about the mask to keep you from getting COVID. I'm talking about the mask of ingenuine. You're being disingenuous. You're not being the real yourself. You are being pretentious and you are fake. You're phony. Your smile is phony. Your laugh is phony. Your energy is phony. Your help is phony. You don't want to do it. You don't want to be there. You don't like them. But why do you keep doing it? It's because either they did you wrong and you're looking for an opportunity to get back at them, or you are trying to get something for yourself at their expense. Do not be the fake one. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you on here. Everybody who's on. I'm talking about spotting fake, phony people in business, in church, in dating, in the marketplace. Don't be the fake one. All right? Fake people are good at, this one, number 6. Men are good at pretending towards women, and women are good at pretending towards men. Listen, when you're dealing with the opposite sex, you need to know that there's a possibility they're not being their real selves. That when you're dating, you meet their representative. You don't meet their real one, the real them. You actually have to spend some time and get them in situations. When I was young and I was dating, I had to at least be around a girl for 28 days to figure out, how she handles her own life cycles and stuff. I need to know if she's gonna go crazy, when the moon is full. Before you start claiming folk, you need to get to know them, dig into them, ask questions, be curious. Don't be drunken by your attraction. Be careful, be very, very careful as you're getting to know people who you're about to bring into close covenant with you. You need to make sure that you're able to be your true self. If you got to put on a wig and 10 pounds of makeup and 7 feet of nails, and you gotta empty your bank account, and play like you can afford dinners that you can't afford, and borrow your cousin's car and do all this stuff to make it look like, borrow your dad's shoes and wear his cologne to make this girl or this woman feel like you have enough to cover her. You are being fake and you are in danger. Danger. You're in danger. And so I'm encouraging you all to be real in this season. Children are good pretenders. We talked about it. A pretender is someone who can feign forgiveness. Now, here we are, number 10. These are the things we did not cover last week. We want to make sure that we're being genuine. Let me see if I can get to these little captions here. And if you're on what is this? Instagram, and you want to join us, come to the other page. I'm going to kind of let this one go because it's killing my internet. All right. Love you guys so much. Join us on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Had to get off of that one. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about spotting fake people in church and at home and all that good stuff. Number 10. They have complete changes in attitude that seem unusual. Listen. If somebody has been has been totally antagonistic to you. You knew you did them dirty. You knew you undercut them. You knew you should be fighting right now. And all of a sudden they have a quick change of attitude that seems unusual. They've shifted in their thinking. Now they're all kind and smoothie and y'all know what I'm talking about. There's something else motivating it, and you need to be looking like, yo, what's your angle? Where you coming from? This is so important because people don't change on a dime unless Jesus is involved. People don't just change in the twinkling of an eye. You know, when the trumpet of the Lord shall sound, we will be changed and we will transform. But in most cases, people do not shift. And this is even more important when we're looking at people who are older. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You cannot just change like that. What made you change? When I was looking at the story of Jacob's sons when they were dealing with the sons of Shechem and how they went from being mad to, oh yeah, we can do this, we can be friends. No, listen, don't trust it. Don't do it. Don't make yourself vulnerable. Don't give fake folk access until they can prove that they really had a change. This is so important in order to protect your future. What made them so excited? What made them so zealous all over a sudden? And people will try to convince you that, oh, it's going to be different this time immediately. No, every change takes time. You know, you don't change the direction on a Titanic or a big ship, you know, in moments. It takes time to turn the rudder and to move the direction of a thing different. This is in the lives of anybody. Time helps to expose pretenders. Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right. I'm not saying don't trust anybody. I'm saying people should earn your trust. You want to make sure that they're being genuine and they're being real. Number 11, needy. Oh, this one's a good one for those of us who are in ministry and those of us who share ourselves with the public and with the world, and we're generous and God has blessed us with resources. Needy people are good candidates for pretense. One more time, let me say it. Needy people are good candidates for pretense. This is so important to realize that if someone is in need, you can't fully expect them to be their real self because they are right now trying to fulfill this need. They're trying to get this need met, and they will dance. They will do like Gaither on Jungle Fever. He says, "Mom, you know, I'll dance for you. You know, I'll do it," because he's trying to charm her. He's trying to get her to give her the money, show me where the money is, and he'll do anything to get what he needs. And so they will be pretentious. They will be pretenders, actors, hypocrites. They'll do anything to get that need met. Let me read this for you. People who are looking for promotion and favors tend to bend over backwards to get what they want. Oh Lord, here it is. Watch out for these folks. They often find themselves pretending to their bosses and to any important person who can give them the favors they need. Watch poor and needy people carefully. I'm not telling you to be totally distrustful, but I'm saying don't get conned by someone who has learned how to play the role, how to act. Many people will pay any price to get ahead in life. Many people are prepared to lick the bottoms or brown nose their bosses so they will be like. Tamar in the scripture pretended to be a prostitute so she could get the attention of her father-in-law, who would not send a husband to give of one of his sons to give her a child. And so she pretended to be in the book of Genesis. She pretended to be a prostitute in Genesis 38 in order to get her father-in-law's attention. Be careful of folk who are desperate and in need, because they are candidates to put on a show for you. Let me read this. And Tamar, it was told Tamar in Genesis 38, 13 through 19. It says, "Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to the convention to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garment off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. And for she saw that Shelah was grown, or Shelah, the grandson, the son of Judah, and she was not given unto him unto wife. And when Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she says, what? This is scandalous, I'm sorry. But he says, and she says, What wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me? Sounds like the transactional relationship that we're seeing right now and nowadays. So this was about money. And he says, I'll send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till you send it? And he says, What pledge shall I give thee? And she says, Thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thy hand. And because he wanted it so bad, he gave it to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her costume, her veil from her, and put on her garments of widowhood. She tricked him because she was in need, and she took advantage of his desperation, of his openness, and literally he took advantage of hers also. And here's the point: he was tricked because he didn't vet the needy people around him. Number 12, let me get to this. Oh, she played him is right. This story is so interesting. Number 12, someone who has served you for a short time has the potential to be a pretender. Someone who has served you in business for a short time, someone who has been in a relationship with you for a short time, someone who has been a part of your ministry for a short time, has the potential to be a pretender. You've got to think and know that I'm not saying that they are, I'm saying they have the potential. The possibility is there for them to be a pretender. New friends have the possibility of being a pretender. Let's go back to the story of, I believe it's Hushai, the friend of David, who infiltrates the camp of his son, his rebellious son Absalom, in Genesis chapter 34. In let me see, where is that? In 2 Samuel chapter 17, verse 14, that Hushai, he infiltrates the camp of the rebellious son Absalom and wins Absalom's trust very quickly. And in verse 14 of chapter 17, it says, the counsel, this is Absalom talking. He says, the counsel of Hushai, the Archite, is better than the counsel of Ahithophel. Now, this is important because Ahithophel, they said about Ahithophel in 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 23, the counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired at the oracles of God. That he went to his wisdom, he had the gift of the word of wisdom, that when Ahithophel gave advice, he gave it as if with such clarity and such trustworthiness that it was as if you went to a prophet who had the word of knowledge, and he did have the gift. And so was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom. So when Absalom meets this new friend, Hushai, he trusts him more than the one who has a record with him. Be careful when new people, their advice begins to usurp the advice, the sagacious advice of people who have by time proven themselves to be faithful and loyal to you. I'm not saying what Chris Brown said, no new friends, or whoever song that is, no new friends. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you begin to hear new people at the expense of hearing those who have proven themselves to be there for you, and their advice is so controversial, so against the grain of people you've trusted for years, you need to check yourself. How many movies have you seen where the actors or the main characters were being tricked and being fooled by new friends who came in and was taken over, and you can see their old friends? It looks like jealousy, but it looks like envy, but it might be jealousy. Let me show you the difference between envy and jealousy. Are you ready? Envy is when you are mad over something that doesn't belong to you. You want and you desire, you covet something that doesn't belong to you. But jealousy is when you are feeling threatened over something that's yours. It's yours, and you're feeling there's a threat to the integrity of the relationship you have with that which is yours, which you have a track record with. Are y'all still with me today? This is so important when you have new people come into your life, that someone who has served you for a short time has the potential to be a pretender. They could be not you. They could be representing themselves as something that they are not. How many times have you met people and they presented themselves as one thing, and then over time they've proven themselves not to be what they told you in the beginning, and they got tired of the lie and started relaxing in their truth, and you start to see the real them come out. This is tragic in business. This is tragic in relationship. In business, I remember when I was at Heward, I was there on scholarship with the Air Force, mechanical engineering, and I was there my first semester. I joined the band. Because I just needed friends. I needed to socialize. But I was there on a pretty heavy scholarship. I mean, studying physics and chemistry and all of this stuff. I was digging because I wanted to be an astronaut. And but I was partying. Oh my God, I was enjoying Heward, and I wasn't enjoying the instruction in school. The professors didn't speak good English. I was torn. And I remember going into the office of my commander at ROTC, the colonel, and he sits me down at the end of the first semester, and he pulls out my scholarship application, and he says to me, "So where's this guy? Where's the guy that's on this paper that we gave the full ride to? Where is this guy, the one who's president of this, the one who was leader of this, the one who had these grades, and where is this guy? Did you bring him to school with you?" I wonder if he's the only one that's ever committed to someone, and after being committed to them and pouring out into them, you realize that who they put on the application is not who they brought to work. My Lord. We want good assistants. We want good managers. We want the best talent to help us build our businesses, to build our ministries. And when they come to us, they present themselves as one thing, but they end up showing themselves to be another. It is so disappointing in relationships. You dated and they opened doors and they paid their bills. They kept, they clipped their toenails. They got their hair done. They cared about themselves. They cared about integrity. They love their parents and all of that. But once you get married, once you make the commitment, once you jump the broom, everything changes about her. She went from being in love with you to now she's your boss. He went from being this hardworking man to a bum who won't get off the couch. He don't talk nice to you. He cuss you out. He doesn't pick up after himself. There's a switcheroo that went on. Where's the dude? Where's that guy at? Hey, where is that guy? Where's that girl at? Maybe they were pretending. Well, bring back the character. I like the character. Oh my God, I feel like I'm talking to myself today. This is important that we don't switch up on people. Don't be what you think they want you to be. Be yourself. Just be yourself. If they can't like you are, it's too much energy acting in long-term relationships. When can I come out of character? When can I be myself? When Denzel played Malcolm, when Will Smith played Muhammad Ali, when Angela Bassett played Tina Turner, of course they were method actors. They went into full character. When what's his name, River Phoenix or whoever it was that played Joker, did it so convincingly. I mean, became everything that was necessary to convince the world that they were that person. But when the movie was over, can you shut it down? And in relationships and in business and in ministry and in service, we've got to be our real and authentic selves. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? The counsel of Hushai, a newcomer, The possibility of his pretension was not even considered. And there's some things in his story that I just want to uncover, because he gives advice about how to attack David in our text. And the scripture says that he says Ahithophel gives this plan. And so I want to look at Ahithophel. He is a key character in the life of David and in the kingdom of Israel, because he was real. He was sagacious. He was the kind of person you wanted around him. But this other guy comes in with with his history of access to David and this story of his disloyalty. He in order to get into Absalom's circle, he has to show that he's disloyal to David. Oh God, I'm about to help somebody right now. Listen, he wasn't able, Vincent. He was not able to shut it down. Watch this. Hushai has to prove that he's disloyal to David in order to get in relationship with Absalom. Be careful of relationships you go into, that they cannot go into relationship with you without showing disloyalty to the other relationships that they're in. Oh Lord. If they showed themselves to be disloyal to get with you, they're going to be disloyal while with you. I'm going to wait on that one. That's too good for 957. But when you read the two plans, you're going to see some strength in Ahithophel's plan as opposed to Hushai's plan. Hushai, he's non-committal because he's not being real. He's trying to draw Absalom into a battle he can't win. Ahithophel wants Absalom to win because he feels that David did not cover his daughter Bathsheba. His granddaughter Bathsheba. We can talk about that whole story because history is a real thing. Ahithophel took sides with Absalom because of the history between David and Ahithophel. That they were friends. They were compatriots. They were in battle together. And that one year David didn't go to battle and stayed home. He ends up sleeping with Ahithophel's granddaughter, who's married to what's his name, Uriah the Hittite, and gets her pregnant, then kills Ahithophel's grandson-in-law, and just it's ugly. So the history there, I love the Bible because it just tells so much stuff. But the bottom line is that in order for Hushai to get Absalom's confidence, he had to be disloyal to David. And when people have to be disloyal to somebody else to be loyal to you, this is a sign that loyalty is not of value to them. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So let's go through these real quick. Number 13, a pretender in your midst will make suggestions but hesitates to execute or implement his own ideas. Follow the advice of someone who is prepared to implement what he is suggesting. Absalom failed to recognize this. If he had known that Hushai was not prepared to implement his own ideas, but Ahithophel was, he would have trusted Ahithophel more than Hushai. If you have to choose between two sides, if you have to choose between two different opinions from people and suggestions, do the one that's more realistic. There are people who give advice but will not help to carry it out. In fact, they have no idea how to carry it out, how to carry out their own instructions, and they're pretenders. Pretending in the sense that, and this is so subtle, watch what I'm about to tell you. They'll give you their ideas that are not realistic, but because you put them in the place of counsel, they feel free to give you this impossible advice and then judge you for not taking the advice. And if they can't lift a finger to help you to implement it, they don't even know how to. And so why do you have people around you giving you advice, being pretenders as if they're experts when they've never done what they're giving you advice from? I'm not listening to poor people to tell me how to get rich. I'm not listening to a man to tell me how to live pregnant. They could give me information, but they're not speaking from a place of experience. You can't tell me how to get through this. You listen, I need some folk who can implement the advice that they're giving. Are you hearing what I'm saying? How we doing so far? This is good stuff. Because pretenders are dangerous in our lives. When we have people faking like they have credentials, you read their resume, you read their application, they told you all these wonderful things, but they lied about the experience that they had. They lied, because we shape our resumes in order to shape people's opinions. When you're running a business, you need people with real credentials that are capable of doing the things that you're paying them to do. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You want a husband who or a wife who can actually be the person you need in life, the partner in life, a helpmeet suitable. But if you're in your application during the dating, you didn't tell me the real you. You told me what you thought I needed from the job description. Matter of fact, they asked you while you were dating, what are you looking for in a man? You know what? Here's good wisdom from Hassell. When they ask you, what are you looking for in a woman? How about we watch? Because I want to know who. I don't want to tell you it so you can fake and be it. I want to see it in you. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. In business, ask them the question. I'm asking the questions because I'm hiring. I need to know who you are. Give me instances. Tell me stories about your experience and what you're most proud of. These are why we interview. This is why we date. This is why we watch people in ministry. The Bible says, lay not hands swiftly on any man, lest you become partakers of their sins. Watch them. Observe them. Test them. Somebody can't stand being tested. They don't deserve to be in your life. I don't know you like that. This is why I'm testing you. Prove to me you are who you said you are. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, this is good. Okay, a pretender. Let me give you this next one. This is getting good. I'm enjoying this. I'm serious, and I'm learning from it because as a pastor, I have to be able to discern who's real and who's not around me. People, as things grow and as things change, I want to be able to evaluate the people around me and not be so thirsty to just grow my team and just have numbers. No, I don't need a whole bunch. I just need a few faithful ones. Jesus only had 12 and he turned the world upside down. I'm not counting people. I'm counting the ones I can count on. My Lord. A pretender can be known by the fear and panic that they generate. Oh God, this is so good. This was revelatory for me because be careful when you're surrounded by people who are so frightened and fearful that they can't even make decisions, and they spread that fear and unbelief and doubt around you where you become stuck. Hushai was a wise man and he knew he had to frighten Absalom away from the path of success. Hushai's advice incited fear in the text. Look what it says, 2 Samuel 17:8. He says, Hushai said, you know your father and his men, that they are mighty men, and they are fierce, like a bear robbed of her cubs in the field, and your father is an expert in warfare. He's speaking fear. He's speaking failure because he doesn't want them to win. People in your life who are speaking fear and failure don't want you to win. They are hesitant because they are fake. I'm on your squad, but I don't want you to win, but I don't want you to win. My Lord. A pretender can be known. Listen, he reminded Absalom of the other rebellious elders that David was, David was an experienced soldier, a winner of many battles. Why are you bringing this up now in the midst of our plans? Are you trying to discourage us? Listen, Hushai, his job was to distract and discourage and detour this man. He was there as a pretender. He was a spy, a double agent. Oh, this is so good. Do you know that the devil will send double agents into your life to destroy your destiny? You need to be careful of people you're hooking up with and believe what you see. Believe the patterns. They're telling you everything you need to know while you're meeting them. Under what circumstances did I meet you? This is what the Bible says. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. What fellowship has light with darkness, Christ with Belial? There is certain things that just don't go together. And if they're telling you these things, don't think you can change them. No, look, you're not the one. Be patient, my brother, my sister. In marriage, in relationships, in business, and in ministry. Yo, if they shown you who they are, believe it. Man, that's the quote for the day. Believe who they show you they are, not who they tell you they are. I need people around me who believe in me. Not ones who take pot shots and digging at me and tell me I'm thinking too highly. And no, listen. I need folk around me who are honest and who believe the things I believe. This is so key. Here it is. A pretender can be identified by his impractical suggestions. Man, they'll have you running up behind anything. Impractical. Ahithophel's plan hinged on, here it is. Oh, this is so good. Ahithophel's plan hinged on targeting one person. Ahithophel's wisdom, the non-pretender, says all we need to do is get David. We get him, and the rest will topple. But Hushai had this elaborate plan that involved things that they would never be able to accomplish because his design was to protect David. He was a pretender. People who, well, how are we going to do this? Well, I got to do this first, and I got to do this. When we get married, well, I need to get my first million first. I need to do this first. No, all of that stuff. No, something else is going on. They're pretending to be with you. They keep kicking the can up the road. Oh, we'll give you your shot next time. Oh, you'll get promoted. We'll make you a partner. What was that movie, Click? And the guy he was a pretender. David Hasselhoff was a pretender. And he kept kicking the can up the field and producing hope, but with no results. Be careful when people are they're pumping you full of empty hopes and never delivering. Whew. Man, this one is hurting to say this thing. That when people have strung you along forever and you're so naive and gullible that you think it's going to be different this time, they are pretenders. I'm not saying they're bad people, but they're not who they're showing you to be. Get delivered from pretenders. Impractical suggestions. When people don't see the real, this is such a principle that Ahithophel says we target one person at a time. This is how you grow anything. I got to throw this one in here. That practical people are the ones who say we can do this, but we have to build it one brick at a time. There's no magic in life. You need business partners who understand the one brick at a time, one person at a time, one customer at a time, one contract at a time. This is how we build it with faithfulness in and day out. These are practical ways to do it. Surround yourself with practical people. Even Satan targets one person at a time. He targets one leader at a time. Number 17. I think that's where we are. 17. Yeah. Number 17. No, that was 15. It was 16. Oh, 16. A pretender. Here it is. I hope I'm helping somebody right now. A pretender pretends that you need large numbers of people to lead when you need one person to be successful. Yeah, I think this page stuck, but when I was turning it. But a pretender pretends that you need large numbers of people to lead when you need one person to be successful. God proved this over and over, that in reality, sometimes more people complicate this. Come on, talk to me, Gideon. More people in your life, having larger numbers complicates situation, complicates the board meetings, complicates the operation of certain visions. You need to be focused and cut down things. People who are pretending want to be in the midst of larger crowds so that they can hide their real intentions and trap you into being entangled by those complications. Man, if I had time to unpack this one, it is dangerous for us to not believe the people who present the simple plans. Simple is better. Pretenders will complicate your life. They need those complications because it's like a magician. It's like a magician. They have all of this stuff going on. So sleight of hand is how they get you. You get got when there's too much going on. Can I tell you something? That many times when people are lying, if they're sitting still, you can actually tell from their tics that they're not telling the truth. Judge Judy talks about it all the time. She said, I can tell you're lying because the vein in your neck moved and your breathing changed. She says all this online. But what happens, in particular, when you're dealing with good pretenders, they stay busy. They keep moving so that you just think that they're moving and they're concealing their nervousness from their fakeness. Hassel, I'm telling too much right now. In particular, this is something we learned, that people who are not telling you the truth, what they'll do is engage themselves in something else during the conversation so you can't see their real nervous tick. No, sit still, look me in the eye so I can tell when the truth is coming out and when it's not. We're not having a conversation with you all over the place about things that I need to know the truth about. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Don't be flurried by a bunch of activity until you get taken advantage. This is what happens at car dealerships. He's talking all fast. No, slow down. I got questions. We're not moving fast because pretenders will have you signing stuff that you'll regret later. No, not in the dating, not in counsel, not in business. Slow down. Go over the plan in detail. Show me the numbers. Show me the budget. Show me the profit and loss. Show me how the process works. Slow down. 3-card Monty, you're getting tricked because everything's moving too fast. Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right. Numbers. Oh, right. There's other, right. Looking away, not looking in the eye. Listen, take your time. Discern. Pray for discernment, but learn some other stuff that's going to help you to discern whether people being real around you. You don't need a bunch of imposters surrounding you. Number 17. I only got 2 more. A pretender can be identified. Oh, this one's bad. And this one, it kind of hit me hard. A pretender can be identified by his love for procrastination and delays. Keep putting it off. Keep putting it off. I don't really feel like it's going to work, but I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to keep kicking the can up the road. You know, that when there's pretension, when there's fraud, they just kick the can. This is how Bernie Madoff and all of them, they made their money by promising long-term things that they could never, ever deliver. Procrastination and delays. Don't do it now. One thing about Ahithophel, he says, look, just give me these men. We can run in there. We can do it tonight. Ahithophel knew we could get this done tonight. We can get David, get out of there and be done with this whole thing. You'll be king by the morning, Absalom. But no, Hushai, who was a pretender in the camp, no, we need to be more careful, more thoughtful. Slow down. Hey, wait a minute. Did you think of this? Listen, there's times for caution, but there's other times that caution is just a pretension. They're putting it off because they're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. My Lord, pretenders. Are y'all still with me, or am I talking to myself on this broadcast? I know I'm not, but I'm telling you now to be aware of pretenders. A pretender, last but not least, a pretender is known by the lack of depth of thought, strength, and timing. Let me read this to you. Real strength comes from the Lord. Pretenders do not have real deep commitment. This is seen by their failure to acquire real strength for the work that they have to do. They don't want to be trained. They don't want to go and get higher education to do those things. They don't want to practice. They don't want to go to seminars. They don't sleep right. They listen. The strength, the influence, the impact of business is really based on having real folk doing real work with real skills. In marriages, people need to have a relationship with God and be steady in their own selves, in their own mental, physical, and spiritual health in order to be effective in a relationship. A minister of the gospel who is not genuine does not wait on the Lord to acquire real strength, real anointing. They'll fake it before they make it. These are battles that every strong leader will lose just because there are battles that every strong person will lose because they're just exhausted. You need people around you who rest. Pretenders rarely rest. Real folk get sleepy. Real folk get tired. Team no sleep is not a good idea. Let me read this to you in 2 Samuel 17:26. This is what it says. And Israel and Absalom camped in the land of Gilead. Now when David had come to Mahanaim, Shobi the son of Nahash and Rabbah the sons of Ammon, Machir the sons of Amiel, these are and from Lodabar, and Barzillai the Gileadite, and they bought beds, basins, pottery, wheat, barley, flour, parched grain, beans, lentils, and parched seeds. They bought honey, curds, sheep, and cheese from the herd for David and for the people who were with him to eat. For they said, the people are hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. This depth of thought in their plan for the battle is what proves that this is wisdom. When you have pretenders, they will do no such thing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Be around people who are about making themselves and you stronger. All right? This was a good chapter. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about intimidation and disloyalty. Intimidation and disloyalty. Again, I'm so grateful that you joined us for the broadcast today. I am delighted to be able to serve you every morning, weekday morning. This word from this series on loyalty and disloyalty. My intention is to make your life better. Because if you know better, you could do better. And if you do better, you can live better. Jesus is the best option. Let me tell you something. He is the most faithful. Faithful and true is his name in the book of Revelation. And I want to be like Jesus. For we know that all things work together for good to them who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, this is what Romans 8:28 and 29 says, he did predestine to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Thank you for joining us today. Listen, if this has been a blessing to you, I ask you just do several things for me. If you can share this broadcast, tag someone in it and tell them, look, this is good advice for life, whatever level, from ministry all the way to dating and business. Listen, we are complex creatures with complex lives. It's not just about church, but it's not just about business. It's a mixture of church, business, and relationships. This is what we live on a daily basis in our own personal health. I want you to be better. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to sow a seed to support our ministry, we encourage you to just cash app us at $ James Hassell, or Zelle us at hassellmin at gmail.com. Many of you have been so generous, and I thank you all for doing that. You pray for me and my family, that things in our lives would be stable and strong, and that my children would be blessed. Thank you so much for your encouragement and being here today for Better Living, this Monday edition. Love you so much. Heaven smile upon you. to better living.